3, 2, 1. And welcome back to episode 10/episode 11 of the Randy and Nick Show.
Ooh.
That's right. We had an episode that got lost.
Ooh.
I'm not sure what happened to it. Actually, I know exactly what happened to it. I had edited it. I have a stutter now. I did the thing,
He has a stutter
but I
now.
didn't have enough internet at the time to upload, and so it just sat on my hard drive for a long time, and it never actually got posted. So I'm looking at the file right now. I'll get it posted before this goes out, but it will be episode 1 of the Lost series. So
Because
it's extremely
it might
dated.
not be the last.
I hope it's the last. But yeah, so we're recording this September 17th, 2021. This is the Randy and Nick Show, a conversation where Randy and Nick have a conversation and forget about the cameras. So with that, I'm going to stop looking at the cameras and say hello to my friend Randy, who is looking at me through this camera. So I'm looking at my friend Randy.
That's
How are you
fine.
doing, bud?
Hello. This is weird because we did not actually... Okay, today's the 17th. When was the episode, the one that we record, not posted, but when did we record the last one? August? May? June? July?
Let's
It has to be July.
Get info.
100%
It
July.
was last modified July 24th.
Yep.
The file was, so we recorded before July 24th.
We
of
recorded
2020.
way before July 24th because I was teasing a few things with you. At that time, I either just started doing the teaser of me... Oh, he's got some smart appliances now.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I left the fan on.
But I started teasing music about my first single, and I did this whole thing where like everything was decaying on my profile, letters were dropping off, and all that stuff. And then I showed you cover art, which became my last song that came out. I've put out 4 songs since we last did all this now, and the last thing I showed you was the long exposure photo and how everything was whooshing through. So I took
With
that
trees,
one
yeah.
and I took a better version of that photo. And anyway, so that's I've been busy. You've been busy. You look different. Take a look. Anybody's watching this, just go watch the last episode, the one that's at least sequential in posting. Look at not so it wouldn't be July. It would even be before that. So June. Go look at
let me see
Nick
when
and
that
look
was.
at Nick now, and it's a different Nick. I'm exactly the same. I'm just cleaner cut, I guess.
Man, yeah, it was kind of crazy. I've lost almost 50 pounds
Dude.
over the past couple months here, and
Are you doing any
it was
diets?
crazy. Well, for the first month or so, I was too busy to eat. I was just like so excited about Starbase, and there's so much going on. Like I would go days just forgetting to eat. So yes, I guess I did do quite the diet.
No,
and
that's called
exercise
fasting.
and suntan. Yeah, it was fasting, I guess. But yeah, it was.
Man.
And like I don't know, I just wasn't hungry. Like I just forgot to eat or something. I don't know. It was just like so exciting being down in Starbase, and you know, there's so many things going on, so many places to be, and it was hot and sweaty, and all I wanted to do was drink water. I didn't want to eat anything. Like it was just anytime I ate something, I just feel heavy and just ugh, I'm hot and I'm like, ugh, I ate, ugh. So yeah, I pretty much just lived on peanut butter and honey and
Wow.
those little rice cracker things. Like that's literally what I lived on for like a month. And obviously I'd go to a restaurant every once in a while or have a real meal every once in a while, but it was I was just too busy for it. And so yeah, then I looked down one day and I'm like, holy cow, these pants, I feel like I'm in one of the weight loss commercials. My pants don't fit.
You're starting to look like the after photo. Goals.
No, we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
Oh, you
I think
moved.
we have a little bit way to go. Because I was 280 pounds at my heaviest before I came out here. I'm at 230 now, which I don't know why I'm being so open about this on the internet. But hey, I guess who cares? And I'm sorry, I'm scrunched again, aren't I, Randy?
Yeah, it is, but it's fine. Yeah, you were being open because it's only like 3 people watching.
Yeah, 50 something. So it could be
50?
worse.
We have 50 people
I don't know. 54, I think, was the last one we posted.
Oh my
54.
goodness. I had no idea.
Yeah, Van Down by the River had 54, 55, 52,
by the river.
88, 59, 94, 101. So we've been on a steady decline. We started out with 350 and we're down to 50. Oh no.
Oh no.
No. I like having it small and intimate because there are way too many people on my Twitter now. It's another thing that's changed.
That's a big thing that's changed. You're borderline celebrity. We've talked about it in other outlets, but I want to talk about it here. One, you actually have like genuine celebrities following you now. someone that we
This is true.
both very much respect and idolize a little bit.
My camera died.
His
I'm
camera
sorry,
died.
guys.
Hey, it's working. Anyway,
I'm so prepared. Oh my gosh.
I'm going back to talking to Nick now. So, I was alluding to Walter Isaacson following you.
Yes, Walter Isaacson following me
And-
was probably the highlight of whatever week that happened.
And the fact that he's still following
that's
you right
crazy.
now is
Oh, right?
crazy.
Dude, I am still shocked. A couple times a week, I will look up Walter's account on Twitter, make sure he's still following me, because the day he unfollows me, I'll be extremely sad.
Don't do it. You're gonna live in perpetual fear. The guy who
know.
sat down and talked with Steve Jobs is now interested in what you're doing, and that's really cool. And not only that, can I pause for a second on what you're doing? You're posting really good photos. Like,
Thank you. They're really easy to get, though. Everyone's
Sure.
like, "Oh, great picture," and I'm like, "They're starships."
It's easy to you, but I couldn't do that. Just like I could do a quick beat that someone would be like, "How does he do that?" The point I'm saying where I'm at is that you're doing what you actually genuinely love doing, and which is photography.
Yeah.
You started this whole process earlier, almost a year ago now. Actually, you started the process of doing a photo a day on Instagram, and you were just exercising
I
that
remember
muscle.
That. Wow.
I remember I loved going on Instagram during that time. Now it's kind of just, but now you've substituted that from, instead of just taking random shots of inspirations and stuff like that, to now, you got Starbase and you have all that stuff that's happening, and it's just cool to see you doing what you want to do and witness that, and then watch your growth just kind of blow up too, and it's. Not only that, another thing that we've talked about that no one else, or not no one else, but another thing that we haven't talked about that's changed is, if people are watching this, which I think, is this an audio only or is this video?
Oh, this video, yeah.
Is it audio?
Yeah,
Does it have an audio only?
I think so.
Well,
I think
if you're watching this,
I think I do have a speaker for this. Yeah.
If you are watching this, you see Nick is in a different location because Nick also moved.
I know. Shocking.
And so much has changed about you,
dude. I know. This has been long overdue. I'm glad we're fitting this in.
God, just the other day, last week, some point, you and I are sitting down going over decorative stuff, and
which I still haven't pulled the trigger on. Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
Yeah, you're definitely pulling some Steve Jobs habits of not.
I can't. Like, if I get a couch, then I've gotten a couch, and the opportunities of finding a better couch are gone.
Oh no, don't do that.
And
your life will be sitting
terrible.
In
Same
perpetual.
with a rug. Like, ugh, I can't pick a rug out. Dang it, it's terrible. I'm literally sitting in a mostly empty room. The camera angle is going this way because there's actually something over there, unlike the white wall that is this wall, and that wall, all blank.
You got your monitor mounted up back there, which looks like the Apple event wallpaper.
Yes, special thanks to Landon. Awesome wallpaper that I love looking at every day. I really wish that it was a picture that I took, because I normally use pictures that I took, but that is a good exception.
Do you think that this empty house, this empty home you're in, we're trying to make up your mind, do you think that's going to come to a close soon in regards to making up your mind about what you want, or are you just what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for something better to go on sale, or
as far as like getting furniture and stuff? So for those of you who don't know, I pretty much don't have anything. Got my desk set up. I have a couple mattresses.
If people are watching this, literally in the background is what all Nick has.
Exactly. Pretty much. I mean, I do have a little bit more than that, but it's kind of been almost nice to not be distracted by all this stuff. Like, I kind of am becoming addicted to the idea of not having stuff. Like, I don't have a couch, right? So I'm not here just wasting my time. I'm at my desk working on something, or I'm sleeping. That's pretty much. I did watch a TV show because I got Mike Flicks the other night, and I was watching some TV shows that I've been wanting to watch for a while. So I did watch a few shows, but
cool.
For the most part, I don't like waste time around here. And so I feel like if I got a couch or furniture or whatever, then I'd be incentivized to stay here more. Right now I'm pretty much just working all the time, which I love. Like, I've never worked a job before and I've worked plenty of jobs, and most of those jobs, I was very sad going to work and very happy leaving work. But this job that I have, I love going to work and I hate leaving work. It is the weirdest flip ever, where I was already a workaholic, and now I actually genuinely love my job in like ways. I did enjoy, some of the people that I used to work with and some of the work that I got to do and the value that I got to bring. I did enjoy that, but like, this is what I was made for. Like, taking pictures of rockets, like, oh yeah. So it's like that level of passion and excitement I get to have every day. And it's kind of almost it is really hard for me to take a day off. Like, legitimately, very difficult for me to say, no, I'm not coming in today. I'm going to take a day off. Mostly that's dictated by me not having groceries in the refrigerator. Like, I gotta go to the grocery store when they're open.
You gotta make time for you, man, to just a little bit of existing in there. It's good that you're taking time to at least decompress a little bit, even if you're doing something that you love. You just like doing a road trip, you need to take your eyes off of the same thing you're looking at all the time to just recharge the brain. And you're living the dream, and I'm jealous.
Thanks.
Well, in my own right, I'm jealous because you gave yourself the clean slate that many people don't get the option to do in life, and you got yourself a whole new life kind of setup. Are we pausing?
Charge my AirPods. No.
Okay.
My case died.
Yay.
See ya. Sorry, everyone couldn't hear me there. I had to go charge my AirPods because my case died, and this one only has like whatever was left after the tech podcast.
Fun.
So, and I don't have a charger over here because I don't have much. So
there's nothing over there
to walk all the way over there. Exactly. This is perfect.
I went to a world market yesterday, and the first thing I saw when I saw furniture and I walked in was a full table, a glass table, like what we were looking at.
Ooh.
And now that we were looking at it, I'm looking at things. I'm like, hey, Nick was looking at that. Hey, Nick was looking at that. Like, now you see the thing that's just everywhere in existence. That's me looking at furniture now because I went down such a deep rabbit hole.
Yeah. And like part of the thing with the hesitation on the furniture is I really want to find the right one. Like, the rug, I think, is almost more difficult than the couch because I do kind of like the couch that we found.
Yeah.
It's like a futon sleeper orange couch, like total 50s, 60s statement piece. I love it. But I need the rug to go with it, and I don't like the idea of just getting like a, real coarse, like cheap rug that we were looking at. Like, I want like a nice plush, like I want to step on it, Like I want it to be a beautiful rug. I haven't found one, and I haven't looked, to be honest. So I don't know. I'm just not in a rush, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, at some point I also want to find a roommate because I literally have an empty room. Like, literally there's nothing in that room or closet. It's just empty. And I would like to, not be lonely. But
are you
part of that's like someone else might be bringing in a couch and other stuff that we need to fit in or whatever. So I haven't been in a huge rush.
So you're delaying, you're stalling because maybe a roommate might have some stuff to offer.
Maybe, or like, I don't want to have to find a place for 2 couches or, 2 TV stands or whatever. So I don't know. And I know it's not a big deal, and I'm just not in a rush. Like, I don't know. I'm perfectly comfortable how I am. And like the idea of getting furniture is just like, ugh, like, I don't know. Feels too adulty for me. Maybe I'm like Andy from Parks and Rec, and I just don't want to adult, and I'm just gonna, eat food off of Frisbees and stuff.
I mean, you could, if it brings you comfort.
There is nothing stopping me.
Do you think?
But yeah.
Do you think or let me ask you that, how do you feel about your stay in at the new location now? But not where you're living, but where you're doing your own work now. Do you feel like this is something that feels long term for you, or do you feel this is something that's actually going to evolve into something more, which might involve uprooting again and going somewhere else?
I mean, if you had asked me this question 6 months ago, I'd have, had a completely different answer.
Which is why I'm asking now.
Exactly, right. And I think you did ask me that 6 months ago. It's probably in the backlog of this podcast.
Maybe.
Maybe. But I do genuinely think that I'm going to be doing this for a while. Maybe not my whole career, but boy, do I love taking pictures of rockets. I'm sorry. Boy, do I love rockets. Boy, do I love taking pictures. And boy, when I can take pictures of both rockets and taking pictures, like, it's amazing.
It's been real. It's been fun.
It's been fun.
I can't say it's been real fun.
Yeah. So the company I'm currently with is NASA Space Flight, and they're an amazing team. Like, nothing but awesome things to say about them. They're very professional and very enthused about rockets as well. And me being able to be the boots on the ground for so many like digital people who, work in different places of the world, it's kind of fun to be able to be their window as well into this exciting thing of rockets. And also SpaceX is amazing. So
yeah.
I wouldn't be doing this with Blue Origin. I would not be doing this with SLS.
Even if there was an offer?
Okay, working for being an official Blue Origin photographer, maybe, because you'd have the. So my thing is the access, right?
Space.
So if
you're going to
space. I know, I'm like all over the place. If we were going to do this kind of stuff at a NASA facility, we'd be miles away behind gates and guards, and you wouldn't be able to see anything. And SpaceX here in Starbase, everything's just open on the side of a highway, and you can stand on the highway and look at whatever they got going. They don't take much time or effort to hide what they're doing, which is so cool of them. They don't need to do that, and it's just great that they allow that. And so that has given me ample opportunity to, and all the other photographers down here. I'm not the only one. There's 5 or 6 pretty much full-time people down here who are capturing stuff, and there's plenty of stuff to go around. Like we still miss stuff.
That's crazy.
There's tons of stuff happening. So I definitely see myself doing this for a long time. I think I finally found the balance between kind of the freedom to do what I want, but yet still a little bit of stability of being in a team with a job, and in an area that I'm very passionate about.
How was it working for you when you first got there? Because you didn't go there because of an offer that you had to go work there. You went on your own. What? Yeah. Like, how were you making the thing on your own work? Because you were living. I mean, granted, you were living out of your car, but you were still there for over a month, and you made it work. So how?
And I signed a lease without having a job.
How did you get to that point? Talk me through that. I've been wanting to ask you that. These are real questions I have not asked Nick yet. So these are things that I don't know.
These are going to be real answers. Yeah. This is not just a little show. So I had budgeted $2,000 that I told myself I could go spend on a summer trip down to Starbase. Obviously, I could have stayed at a hotel, but I would have blown through that in a week or so. Between hotel prices and transportation, because there are no hotels around, and, gas prices, and, being in a hotel is expensive. And so I decided hotel was a backup plan. But when I first got down here, I wanted to try sleeping in my car and doing beach camping, because that would help me stay out here longer, within that budget. And so, I did that, and I maybe spent like $350, maybe $500 over that month. Mostly because I wasn't eating, mostly because I never left, and most of that was just gas. Gas and water. I bought a lot of water.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I didn't spend any money, and so after noticing that, after like a month of being down there, finding that I really enjoyed it, finding that there were great benefits to my health, great, exciting opportunities. Elon Musk was replying and responding and liking and commenting and all that fun stuff, and I was like, wow. I'm making it here. Like I'd been sitting at home waiting for something to happen, or waiting for something that I could talk about, or something that I could do that would bring value, and it wasn't coming. And I just went down to Starbase for a month, and I found that. I found that place to bring value in a way that was exciting to me. And so I looked at that, and I was like, okay, cool. And during that time of the month being down here, I got connected with a church group down here. The pastor actually of the church is a fan of our podcast. Didn't know that until after we were having lunch. Yeah, he's a huge fan. That was kind of random.
Whoa.
But he also is a property manager of some apartments. And so he said, well, we have a vacancy if you'd like to take a look at it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I looked at this apartment, and I won't give a specific price, but this is about a quarter of what I was used to paying in Denver for a 1,000 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2-bath setup. So I was like, all right, the price is right here. And the best thing is he let me do a shorter term lease to begin with. And so because of that, I was like, all right, I can take the rest of my savings, which was about $9,000. And I was like, all right, let's put the rest of this into this Starbase thing. Because if that 1 month did so well, what can happen next? And so I was like, all right, I'll give myself runway. And that I did the math, and it was about 4.5, 5 months of runway, that would, keep me living here. And so I was like, I think I can make something happen in about 4 months. And if it doesn't, then I pack up and go home. And I burnt all my savings, but I had some good fun.
There you go.
That was the mentality moving down here. I was like, all right, this is temporary. I don't really know if I'm staying. I literally didn't have a job lined up. Mary Boca Chica gal, and I had become, fairly good friends over the month of working down there. But there wasn't any conversations about working with NASA Spaceflight at that point. And so I moved down here, and within the first couple days of me coming down here, Mary was like, hey, so, would you ever want to work for NASA Spaceflight? And I was like, yes. And then, within about a week, I had signed a contract and signed on with NSF. And it's awesome that all came, because now I'm positive I'm not having to touch my savings,
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
It's like,
congratulations, one, for even all that happening, but taking that risk. I'm not going to take credit for telling you to make that risk, but I am going to say that that's when the magic happens. That right when you think, like you said, hey, I burned all my savings, but at least I got memories like that. You had to go down there with that.
I put all my chips on the table.
You had to. It was the only way to live, because you have no obligations. You're not married. You don't have kids. You didn't have like a job that was anchoring you down. You didn't have debt. You could go anywhere. Write your own story, and you chose willingly, I want to do this one. So that was the right decision that you did. And then I remember you telling me, this is all, even leading up to, because the episode never aired, but or maybe, I guess it's gonna air after this, the last episode, but somewhere in between that time too, you were like, I almost packed up and went home after like the first week or two. And then when Elon acknowledged you on Twitter, boom, all of a sudden,
I wouldn't say that was the moment.
No, but that was the moment for me that clicked. I was like, oh, this is opportunities are going to start knocking. And
and they did. They knocked.
And every time it comes close to, there's a moral to the story. There's a lesson in here somewhere about being able to like go past your comfort level, and which you did. And like I saw this chart once, and it said I'm going to draw you. I'm actually going to draw you the photo. It's a cheap little thing here, but you'll get my point, and I'm going to text it to you. And if you want to put it in post, then do it. And if you know, that's fine too. Okay. Your comfort zone. All right. There's that, and then, where the magic where the magic happens. All right. I'm going to send you a screenshot right now.
Okay.
It's crappy, but the message is still received. Here you go. Oh, nice, Nick. I just saw your text. Okay. All right. The analogy is pretty cute, but it's to the point. That says, oh, wait, autofocus going to happen? There it is. Your comfort zone, where the magic happens. And what that basically says that like you're only as comfortable in your bubble or like if all you know in your world is in this circle, there is so much more outside of that circle that you don't know. And people are so scared to take that first step, which is the scariest. Because
dude, I was petrified.
You were. You called me the night before you even drove. You're like, I'm really nervous. And I'm like, that's how you know it's going to work. I remember telling you, like, that's how you know it's going to work. Because for the first time ever, you were unplugging from the matrix. You were getting red pilled. You were, however you want to, any analogy, anything you want to say, that if this was the world that you know, now you are going even in the drawing itself, like there is more outside of that circle. The circle is not the universe, and everyone has to be willing to take those risks and stuff like that. And look how it paid off for you. Does it always work? No, but all people are going to remember is this accomplishment. They're not going to remember all the other attempts of you trying stuff like this before years prior. You were unemployed once before for a long period of time, and it didn't work out, but you tried. This isn't the first iteration of you doing something like this. This is just the first one that worked, and then it'll evolve from there again. So your comfort
and next time when I'm presented with the opportunity to do something that's outrageous and gutsy, now I have this to fall back on and be like, okay, it worked last time. Like I keep thinking, like, what if I never went? What if I went home? What if I never went down here?
You would have kept on working for that one guy every now and then, just for extra dollars in your pocket, and
it would have been
miserable.
Exactly. I mean, my life wasn't miserable,
not
but
working for him.
It wasn't as exciting as it is.
You not being miserable working for him, but you're miserable in the sense that, like, what even drove you to do this is that you were lacking purpose.
Exactly. Purpose. Yep. I've heard that from many people down here, that Starbase gives a lot of purpose. You
were the one who were talking about purpose on a bigger picture too. You want to contribute to something historical in the sense that, like, this is something that's going to be remembered years from now. Not the moment you clicked and you were like, nice, I saw it happen. Not from the moment of you being the next iPhone is going to be great, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's fun and all, but, like, real change about space and exploration and mankind and stuff like that is so extreme and so daring. But if it works and we can find a way to be sustainable off this planet, like, this is going to be a part of that history. And you can be like, I was part of that. And that's something that that's your piece of the puzzle to it. To where, like, Mike, not Model Y Mike, my Mike.
Space Mike.
Space Mike. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You refer to him as Space Mike. I refer to him as Marine Corps Mike. Same Mike, friend, mutual friend, and his part of history.
I stole him. We weren't mutual friends. I stole Randy's friend. That's what happened.
You didn't steal him. He's still my friend.
Oh, you think he is?
Oh, I know.
Him and I.
Oh no.
Him and I have quite the conversations.
Oh no. I know he's still my friend. No one can come between the bond of two Marines. That's just how it is.
This is true.
Him and I have history that cannot be undone or erased. But Mike,
regrettably,
Mike's part of the history and on the same story of that is, so you're documenting the beginning stages of things being built. He's building the satellites that's documenting what's happening out there in the great beyond, the final frontier. His part of the history of us going towards space exploration is him doing the research part of it, and his piece of the puzzle.
He's actually doing it. He's doing the work. I'm just sitting here taking pictures.
But you're also you're press. You're covering it. You're educating in a sense.
Yeah, sure.
In your own piece. Everybody,
mildly.
Where I was getting at with is that there's different pieces of the same puzzle, and maybe Mike's piece is a little bit more relevant, but every piece has its place. And and even outside of all that, your passion of it's not a Nick and Randy show, Randy and Nick show without Kiko coming up here trying to.
No, it's not.
She was quiet all podcasts when we were doing EV and tech and stuff like that, but not now. I love. But your part of it, outside of even just doing space, is that your passion is photography. You love taking photos. You always wanted to be behind the camera. And now you get to do that. And you get paid for it. And you're doing it for things that you care about, on subjects that you care about. And you're growing on Twitter for it. That's all.
And I'm losing
good.
weight.
And you're losing weight.
I mean,
I'm so jealous.
right? I know. It's like everything that I've been trying to have happen has kind of happened down here in one way or another. You know, it isn't all beautiful. Like, it is so hot down here. It's like 110 degrees most day, almost 100% humidity. It's pretty miserable, but it's still so unbelievably worth it. Like, it is things I've seen, the things I've been able to be a part of. Like, it's so cool. Like, never anywhere else would this happen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm here in Starbase.
Do you think
cool.
do you think you can see yourself like having a house down there and something a little bit more permanent?
Well, I've been looking.
Oh, you have. Oh, is this where we're gonna put the cube? Whatever that is. I mean, whatever that is.
I have the perfect spot picked out for the cube.
Is it possible? Do they allow for all that to happen? Damn. If that's the case, then by all means. Oh, well then there we go.
It's really just a money thing at this point.
Which is just a time thing at this point. You're not in a position where you're losing money, so it's still going to work.
This is true. Yeah. No, I have the perfect spot for the cube.
Nice.
Starbase in one direction with the sunrises, and starbase in another direction with the sunsets. Yes.
Huh. All right. Okay, cool. While you have that new location in your mind, I think mine is still like in Jackson, Wyoming or something, where those mountains.
I can't tell you that that's a bad idea.
It's too beautiful. It's too beautiful.
It's way too beautiful.
Yeah. But mine's not a money issue. Mine is a logistical issue of like, can I get my wife can I get my whole family to uproot? No, probably not. Military orders are military orders now, so that's just the way it is. But if I ever need to like run away or escape or whatever, I'm sure I would find a spot to dig a hole and make a square shape hole out of it. Well, I think that's all my questions I've been wanting to ask you.
Okay, so I have tons of questions for you.
Okay. All right.
Now that Randy Vasquez is established in Virginia, his current home, what is next?
Oof.
You've been making a few songs here and there. You made a few music videos here and there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next big thing? What is going to be superseding? I mean, anyone can make a song or two or three or maybe even an album, but like, what is the big 2-year long project that you're going to start?
I've been thinking about that. I have to dream big, right? Especially if you could dream big and make it happen, maybe I can make something happen. But I want to build like this mini universe.
Ooh.
Yeah. I want to build this mini universe that that there's continuity. It exists in the same world as like my music, my songs, my I won't be so vague first, and I'll be more specific. I've been sitting on this idea of like writing a concept album of something.
Okay.
Okay. In the sense of music and stuff, but one thing that I've been learning in the songwriting department, which also helps in audio as a whole, is like sound design. And there's not that much difference between like doing sound effects and making certain music when it comes to the electronic side. And I have this idea of making this futuristic, or what I feel is futuristic, soundscape with electronic music, but it does not tell a story the same way Waiting for the Dawn does instrumentally, but there are vocals, and it's almost like a story. It's a concept album. So, song 1 is the opening of the story all the way through song whatever, but I want this whole thing to tell a story. And I've been drafting concepts about what is the narrative, who's this character I'm writing about, and what's the storyline. When I think of futuristic, am I thinking Blade Runner? Am I thinking something that's more Star Wars? Am I thinking something that's more Matrix? What am I trying to depict with a future theme that has sounds and elements that are electronic but also feels not instrumental but industrial and robotic, and can I create conflict in my songs that tells an overarching story? I've been sitting on that for a while, and I'm still working on it, but I want to try to tell this story. So in the concept of music, that's a bigger picture that's going to take some time, and in between all that, I'm going to finish working on some one pieces here and there. And all these little songs, these singles that I'm putting out will eventually accumulate to either an EP. Well, actually, I have enough to make an EP now, but I'm thinking about just making a first album that's more personal, the everything that has to do with more me. But while I'm doing that, I am drafting this story that has nothing to do with me. It's a fictitious story, but I want to make. I've always wanted to make a film. I wanted to do. I was always big in film, and I want my music to fit in a film. And because I don't have the production anymore, or the staffing or the actors or anything like that to make a film, maybe I can start from the reverse end and make the music first. That can be an adaptation to a film at some point, and that would be really cool. So, but the story has to be good. The story is the most important part, and I've been sitting on this idea, and it's going to play into concept. It's not going to be political. It's not going to. It's all fun. It's all fictitious. But I want to bring out the same conflict of this future that we experienced last year with COVID, in the sense of there was a certain fear that we could not stop or control. What if I took that in a fictitious direction? That's not a virus, but what if there was some impending danger that humanity as itself needs to try to overcome, but in a very more Blade Runner, Star Wars, Matrix type of way? That's where I'm at. So I'm trying to come up with a storyline and stuff like that. So musically, that's what I'm working on, which also goes towards my creative space of that. What's the next big thing for Randy though? I am fortunate enough that I have put myself in a position where I don't have to work another day in my life, and I do not take that for granted. But with that, I have this thing in my head that says, what am I working towards? What's this all for?
Yep, you got to have a goal.
Yeah, I think I am working towards what I believe I'm working towards is the eventual starting a family. That I want to have something, but I don't want to. I don't want to have something. I want even my story, not my story, but my family to have purpose. If I start it, it's very intentional in the sense. I'm not trying to plan it to the minute of I'm going to have a kid that's born Sagittarius and on the year of the. It's funny to think like that, but I know that I'm working towards wanting to pass knowledge down to a sense that I just want to start a family. I think I'm becoming to that point where it's I've done most of the things that I want to do, and now I'm thinking more of a family man, and that was my intent. I wanted to live in my 20s so I can grow a family in my 30s, and now I'm 31. I think I'm getting there. I'm slowly getting there, but I am getting there. I don't know. Let me say this. I don't think I will be around forever on YouTube, on podcasts, whatever, because I genuinely, and this it sounds weird saying it out loud, but it's true. I don't find myself interesting. I don't think anybody cares enough. I don't see growth. The fact that I've been told in the past how I've helped them, which is the biggest compliment I can ever hear. I just don't. It's not that I don't believe it. I just don't understand, because I don't think. Why did I became monetized on YouTube because of a borderline tragedy with an old friend type of a story. That's the only reason why anybody cared about me. That's the only thing that got me the views that made me monetize. Nobody came to me for my music. Nobody cared. They cared about my association. And I feel like that's what it is. People care about my association with Drew now, and which is fine to a degree. People are learning who you and I are through Drew. They found us, and that's one thing. But I do not believe in my truest of hearts that I'm interesting or that anybody cares what I have to say. But it's true, because it's like I just told you about this concept of this concept album of telling the story that could be an adaptation of a film. That's something that I want to see. I don't think anybody cares about the story I want to tell, if that makes sense. Like it could be very hyper specific. Another comparison I can tell you about that is, I said I wasn't going to get political, but for a quick second, I'm very personally invested about the Marines in Afghanistan and all the stuff that happened, and that struck a really big nerve with me. And all I care about is the safety of my fellow brothers and sisters in arms. That's all I've ever cared about. And when I talk about things that I care about, I notice people don't care like that, which is fine, because it's not for them. It's more before me or somebody like maybe Mike or someone. I have other friends that follow me on Twitter that are service members and stuff like that. People only care when I talk about Apple, which is fine. I like Apple. It is a part of the identity of what I've made myself online, and I accept that for what it is. People only care when I talk about Tesla or Apple. I don't get the same engagement when it comes to my music, when it comes to my passions, when it comes to my mental health struggles sometimes. And that's fine. I'm not looking for I'm not trying to idolize the negativity of any of that stuff, but it's not the same. And that's fine too. But to say that's not a part of me is just wrong. And I'm just tired of talking about Apple. I'm just tired of talking about Tesla and stuff like that. Like other things, I'm three-dimensional. I have things that drive me. I want to talk about architectural designs. I want to build the perfect home, the perfect minimalist home. I want to write.
Hey, my home's pretty minimalist at the moment.
But you didn't build it, so by design it's already wrong. Yeah.
This is true.
Wait.
Inside is minimal.
I kind of have the same, but it's not the same. So when I think about where I'm getting at with all that, Nick, is that I don't think at any point I will last on social media, because I don't think I'm as interesting as I might come off, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm, and maybe in the insecurity level, I just don't think I'm worth it, and that's just that's a true insecurity of mine. But I turn those insecurities and I try to turn them into positives, whether it's instrumental music, whether it's the songs that I make, whether it's the art that whether it's the photography. You know, you would get this as a photographer. I know you would get this. I put a piece of me in my photos that I take too, whether it's the cover arts and stuff like that for my music, or just regular photos. Like everything that I show is a piece of me. But I also feel like, weirdly enough, the more I show, the more I lose.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle. It's a struggle, because it goes back to the Taking Back What's Mine song. The most important line I think I ever put in that song was, I don't want to be whatever is you see. I just want to feel something real to me. I don't want to be this thing that you see. I want to be real to me. That's all. I just want to be real. And sometimes there's an overlap and sometimes there's not. I will not compromise on who I am for anything, which the trade-off then becomes, I don't last on YouTube. I don't last on podcasts, because if the moment I'm no longer interested, I'm gone. And that's okay, because I've now put myself in a position where I might not have to work another day in my life, and that's fine. So if there is a need or an interest of me, I'm not trying to grow anymore. I thought I used to want to be like a verified person. I thought I wanted to be someone who's relevant or something, and I don't. I just want to tell my story, whatever that story may be, through my art, through my music. That's it. So big picture, that's what I'm always going to work towards. But I think it's time I work on my family side and consider, starting a family, so I can help contribute to the next generation, be a better humanity than what we had to kind of endure over the last couple of years. And keep doing music and stuff like that. I want to do so much, but it's hard to focus when now the military is the most important part in my family's lives. That I'm not living here in this apartment. We will move again in a couple of years, so I can't plant roots the same way. And so that's kind of intimidating again, where I get to travel, which is beautiful, and it's on the military's dime. So by all means, take me where you want me to go, but it's hard for me to make real connections now. I'm pretty lonely, man. I think even you miss. I know you miss me and Drew, and we miss you too. I miss you guys. It's lonely out here, and that's fine. Yeah. In the sense that I'm using that loneliness to help motivate my art, but it's lonely, and I miss my family. Which another update in my personal life, my brother's in Iraq now, so. And that's the closest person in my family. He's not here. So I miss I miss my friends. I miss you guys.
Do you guys get to communicate often?
We're trying.
Or is he pretty busy?
He's both. We're trying. Thank God FaceTime is a thing now. I didn't have FaceTime when I was deployed. So actually, I was overseas when they introduced iPhone 4. But even then, I didn't come back to the States until after it was already then. iPhone 4 was released. And iPhone 4 only worked on FaceTime through Wi-Fi, which my brother, it's a different deployment. It's 2021 Iraq. It's not the war in 2003. There's Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So we're trying, but it is. He's busy and stuff like that. But I miss my family. I miss my friends, and I'm using the loneliness to self-reflect on myself and try to be better as an individual for myself. I got to perfect things on myself, and it's a good self-reflection. My New Year's theme was Reinvent, and I feel like I've accomplished a lot of that. And if we were to stop the year right now, I would say it's a success. But I'm not done before the year's over. I still got a few more things to keep reinventing. So I'm excited about that. I'm still very much motivated. Yeah.
Well, to go off of what you were saying about feeling like your art isn't enough for people, or not what people want, I felt very similarly to that, especially after I made that cube video. That thing, I don't think it made it into the crop because we're doing square crops today for the 2-person show. Right. But the cube is in the background there. I kind of, I had that funk for like almost a month where like I didn't know what to do next, because all of the stuff that I liked doing, talking about tech, talking about space, talking about, EVs, no one seemed to care. But I made this one cube project. Everyone liked it. Everyone wanted to see more. But I couldn't think of a way to make that sustainable or, into something that I could do for, a job, basically. I was looking for something to do full time. And that wasn't it. And I was feeling very similar to what it sounds like you're feeling with, like, the artwork that I want to make, no one seems to want. And it's kind of, depressing. And I know tons of people on the internet, I'm sure tons of people listening to this show will be like, oh, wow, well, I love what you're listening to. And, and I know that other people, have much smaller audiences, and I need to be grateful for what I have. But that idea of wanting people to want what you're making is fundamental to the idea of bringing value to the world. Everyone needs to be bringing value in some way, even trust fund, whatever kids, they have to bring value somehow, or else just they're gonna fall apart. It's part of the human psyche to want to produce value and bring things to the world. And me not being able to find that was very difficult. And I'm so thankful that I ended up finding, this. But this wasn't something that I thought I was going to come down and do, right? And so I would just encourage you to keep living the path, and when something comes along, snatch up on it. Yeah.
In fact, going on what you just said, you didn't go down and do that. You bought like spatial audio gear. You were just going to document, archive some stuff, and now it's not even anything close to that. But you learn some skills along the way. But
Yeah.
that was like you really was casting a wide net out there.
Yeah. I had no idea what I wanted to do or what I was going to do down here.
Yeah.
And thankfully it kind of happened, you know, and it's not something that I think I could ever replicate on my own power.
Right.
You know,
That's very true. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
it happened.
And that's why I'm going to keep, all I can control is my integrity. And I'm just going to keep doing what's true about me. And whatever my next calling is will show itself. I'm not lacking purpose right now. I'm lacking confidence. And I have to push through that. I don't want to be known for one thing, and I don't want that one thing to be, well, actually anything that's been established so far about me, tech, music, of that. I want to be known for a bigger purpose. You know, mortality sometimes crosses my mind because of people who I know in my life that are gone now. And I think about their legacy and what their contribution to at least the people alive that knew them and how they were affected by it. Not in the affected by of their passing, but how, like, what value did they bring? And I lack a lot of self-confidence about my value. I don't think me being funny is a value. I don't think my ability to communicate or talk to somebody is a value. It just means I'm charismatic. It just means I know how to work a crowd and do all that stuff. Yeah. That's not Randy. That's the presenter of whatever. That's the podcast. That's the stream. That's the song. That's not me. When I think about me, I see someone who's, you know, who struggles with their past life of failures and so there's insecurity there. I struggle with some stuff that's correlated with the military that I'm just trying to work through in my own head. Oh, I lost you, but I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Sorry about that, guys.
I don't even know how to roll back into it.
Actually, I better charge my other camera here because I still got to go to work tonight.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming this is us now making this, whatever, all that's going into the cut. This is in the cut, so I'm going to keep talking. As I'm talking, iPhone 15 beta, the Gold Master. It's not called Gold Master anymore, but whatever it's called, it's getting its update, its final update on my 11 Pro. So that's cool. I feel like, oh, hey, look, he's back. I feel.
All right, it's charging.
It's charging.
Yes.
Cool.
Did that ever update?
It's doing it right now.
Ooh, it's doing the update. Look at that. Fancy pants.
The actual official iOS 15 is supposed to come out next Monday. Yeah, Monday.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Well, Wikipedia told me, so you know it's true. I trust Wikipedia more than I think I trust leakers at this point.
See, this is why I love the beta so much. I'm controlling that cube
on your iPad
from my MacBook Pro. Yeah, it's so cool. I literally don't have a keyboard or a mouse on my desk because I just use my MacBook's keyboard or mouse, because the only time I ever use the cube is when I also have my MacBook out.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Very cool.
I'm so jealous. That's so cool.
Yep.
So I can do that?
That feature's not coming until like middle of the year or middle of fall. Like they pulled it from whatever the latest beta was, and Apple said it's coming later this fall instead of with the main release. So whatever beta I have on these two devices is not going away because it works really well. I don't know why they pulled it. Like really it works really well. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. Sorry. We were in like a deep personal conversation about insecurities and not thinking that you're good enough. And
I don't know how to roll back into it. I'll be honest. I don't really know.
I think that might have been a lost cause there. I'm super sorry, bud.
No, that's fine. Maybe the only thing I can recover from that is what's big plan for Randy. I'm casting my wide net right now. I came into 2021 knowing that I wanted to do some music that I needed to say. That I knew. And that's still the case. And I'm not done saying what I need to say. That's my goal. And so that's why I got a few more things that's happening that's going to, like, I guess, quote unquote, reinvent myself based off of my New Year's theme. But I don't think, like, for example, music's therapy for me first. More important than anything else, I have to like it, and I have to own it and say that this is me. But likewise, people need to like it too for it to be worth the while. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
And I also feel like I don't know. This goes back to the insecurity. I don't know if what I'm saying is even worth anybody's time. So, I'm gonna say what I need to say when I'm done saying it, and I'm gonna read the room from there. And if nobody else vibes to it, then I'm gonna let that me in that version, me in the music, I'm just gonna let that disappear into obscurity because I've said what I needed to say, and it either matters or it doesn't. But I'm just gonna be true to myself about that. I just what really messed up my mind up, to be honest, is the whole coming to Virginia thing. That's the part that really threw a wrench in my brain. I never thought I was going to be back here. So that's the part that kind of messes with me. Because I said I was never going to come back. And life has a funny way of repeating itself when I look around and things look so familiar. The software just cool. All right, cool. Goodbye. Good night. Phone updated. So I this isn't new. I've been in this state. I've lived in this town. This isn't new. So I kind of feel like I'm trying to break out, reinvent, while I'm also in another familiar place that I already know. And if that's the case, then let me just be back in San Diego that I love and enjoy. I wanted to be in Texas. I wanted to be in Washington State. I wanted to be in Germany. I wanted to be overseas, Japan. I miss Japan. See, the thing is, I was already in Japan once before, but Japan's a very, very beautiful country, and I just miss exploration. I miss adventure. I miss doing it with people, but I just miss living. And right now, I kind of feel like I'm not living. I feel like I'm existing, and there is a difference. Yeah. So I'm trying to. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm
funny you should mention the living and adventure. Because in May of this year, I went back to visit some old friends, and we went on this. It was just me and my best friend. I mean, we're practically brothers for many years. We went on an adventure just through the mountains. He's a photographer as well, and he loves his BMWs. He's the friend who fixes up the cars and is probably never going to buy an electric vehicle just because he enjoys the nitty gritty, fixing it up. But we went on an adventure up to Buena Vista, actually, in Colorado. And I think I sent you pictures of this beautiful sunset over the mountain range. And that entire trip, I was just like, it's just so much fun to just go on an adventure. Like, there's no purpose for our adventure. Like, we didn't know where we were going, what we were going to be doing. Let's just go drive somewhere. And we just kept driving, and it was fun, right, in that adventure. And the whole way home, it was like a 4-hour drive back. We were just having this deep conversation about seeking of adventure. And I was like, man, I really want to do this more. Like, just go on an adventure with who, I don't care, where, I don't care. Just the idea of going on an adventure for the sake of going on an adventure is so exciting. And I feel like I kind of was able to do that here in Starbase, be able to live adventurously. So anyway, I was quite pleased that thing that I'd been seeking, that adventure, that thrill that I wanted, I think I've kind of found it, and it's becoming less of an adventure every day as I live here. But yeah.
So it doesn't feel like an adventure.
Well, it still does. I mean,
okay.
It's all new. It's all new. But, every day it becomes more of my life and less of an adventure, which is amazing because my life now becomes an adventure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's why I asked if you were looking at staying there or actually expanding to go somewhere else, whether it'd be in a different state or I don't know, California, if that mattered.
Yeah,
wherever the work would take you. Yeah. Florida.
I don't know. I don't see anywhere else in the world where. Gosh, and now my AirPod died. I don't see anywhere else in the world where I could do what I'm doing right now, the way I'm doing it. So, if you want to fill time for about 30 seconds, I'm gonna go get rid of a different AirPod.
Okay. Yeah. The act of looking for adventure is. A sense of curiosity. Like it's all stems from curiosity. And when you feel like you're fulfilled in that search of adventure, a bit of your curiosity also gets fulfilled because now you become a little bit more cultured. You know a little bit more than you did the day before because of that venturing out of your comfort zone thing and trying something new. Part of me kind of feels like that's why I feel like every person should join the military, just so they can travel and see the world, or just see something that's outside of their hometown, see something that's outside of their comfort zone. But you got to do that without having to join the military, so there's that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that adventure led you back for. Your wife has led you back to a place you've already been.
It's temporary. It's always temporary. It all has an expiration date. Yeah.
Even we do.
Even we do. But the good news is there's a 10 out of 10 chance that we will not be here next time because this is. Once you're here, there's a rotation that happens. So. You just it will be
in the military.
Else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
thought you were talking about life in general. I was like, oh wow.
No. I can't. Nobody can control what happens in life. This was a result of the pandemic that caused her to lose her business or at least to shut down because of the state. So, this is a result of that, an aftermath of all that stuff. So we can't control what happens in our lives, but we do know that at least in the work of the military stuff, we will not be back here at this place for not for a very long time. It's just how the rotation works, which I'm okay with. And maybe we get Texas next. Maybe we get overseas next. I mean, maybe we go to NorCal and we'll be closer to family up there. We'll see. I don't know. The whole thing is just this part is an adventure. So I like this part of the adventure. That part's fun. I do like that part. Trying new things and even though I was here 10 years ago, it's changed. So it is new in that sense. But I've changed too. I'm a different person.
I think you've changed more than the place has for sure. But
it's a lot more populated out here. That is for sure. People seem to want to stay out here, and I don't know why. But that's fine because maybe they don't know about San Diego, and if they do, maybe they can't afford it. God knows that in a certain situation I could not afford it, but maybe I'm a little biased. I don't know. I'm not too sure.
San Diego's pretty, but Starbase has rockets.
Starbase. I mean, SpaceX is in California. It's not San Diego though.
Yeah, Hawthorne. I mean,
it's too mountainy of a terrain. You need to have that flat.
For rockets.
For weather, for rockets, for you need that open field to do what you got to do. You do need all of that.
They need an ocean. It's a big target. Is what they need.
You cannot afford to have anything fall back down and hit the Robinsons down the block and take out Nana.
Nope.
That's not a good look.
Not a good look at all.
That's not a good look.
For
That's not good look for anybody.
Nope.
Do you see yourself actually getting closer to the rockets?
Like flying in one day?
No. Well, maybe that's not what I was asking. I meant like actually just in the sense of documenting and doing press and stuff like that, like actually being on site. Or do you think the other side of the street where for the public is there? Do you think that's more where you're going to be residing?
Yeah. Well, the way SpaceX kind of operates, and I want to say all of Elon's companies, is pretty anti-establishment media. I mean, just look at all of the headlines. Elon Musk's company sets fire to a car that drove down the freeway, or Elon Musk's company rocket explodes.
Yeah.
They're very negative. And so because of that, SpaceX doesn't give any special privilege to any person of the traditional media. Like, I'm as close as ABC people could get, or CNN or whatever. They don't get any special perks. And I don't think they're going to offer me any special perks either. But what they're offering is more than what most places have ever offered before.
So what you're saying is there's a possibility, because you're on the same level field as this news media, there's a chance you can go work for one of those at some point. Nick, if the dollar amount is right, Fox, CNN, I know there's all the biases and stuff like that, but
no, I don't care about the biases. I wouldn't go on and go watch. I work for a company that's dying. I'm good, thanks. Though.
Better. I have a better one. Discovery, National Geographics. No. Disney's not going to die. Which one does Disney? Disney owns National Geographic.
Disney owns National Geographic. Yeah,
Disney's not going to die. They're
I know they're not going to die, but no thanks.
Is it because they're too established?
I would much rather work for independent companies or do stuff for myself. And I just love the fact that like New Space is allowing new media to cover them. A rocket startup called Astra Space, they allowed us, NASA Spaceflight, to do their live stream for one of their rocket launches just a couple weeks ago. And they didn't reach out to any of the other big media conglomerates to do a live stream coverage of them. And just like SpaceX has their live stream coverages, basically that's what we did for them. It was our company. And it's like, that's new media and new space working hand in hand.
That was you with the
Firefly,
camera. It was so cool.
I wasn't there. They're in Kodiak, Alaska. So if you want to talk about beautiful rocket launch flights, Kodiak, Alaska is the most beautiful. That in New Zealand. Kodiak, Alaska, and New Zealand's rocket labs. It's the mountains and the ocean, and then New Zealand is just 360 degrees of oceans. It's beautiful. But anyway, yeah. So like my team was up there, and we were covering it, and that was NASA Spaceflight, and Firefly a couple days later had Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut, do the exact same thing for them. And it's just cool to see new media and new space work hand in hand, and new space say, hey, look, this is new media. They don't actively hate us. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to let them do exciting things. And SpaceX obviously has their own whole production team, and they don't need our help with really anything. So it's not like I'm asking SpaceX to do anything. I'm not, but it's cool that other small startup companies are acknowledging for the Inspiration 4 mission that just flew. I'm sure you've seen it around on Twitter and stuff. The first privately funded private space flight with no
as of recording, I think that's like the news of the day. That's like trending, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Was it Thursday? No, Wednesday. I lose track. The other thing is Starbase. You lose track of all sense of time. You have no idea. It's all just a blur. But yeah, so all of the independent media, NASA Spaceflight, Everyday Astronaut, all of the people who are doing live streams, we were all doing it for the benefit of St. Jude, which is the benefactor of this whole, benefactor, whatever that fancy word is, for the whole flight. And so instead of the super chats going to us, the super chats basically went as a donation to St. Jude. And so the whole space community, the whole new space community raised like almost $250,000 for St. Jude. And it's like, that is cool. Like over 200 and something $1,000. and we have some generous fans out there, and it's like the power of this community is probably much more powerful than a telethon on CNN, like it's, or whatever news,
right.
ABC,
It's a company.
whatever.
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah, for sure.
Fox, whatever. Yeah, like it's more powerful. Like these are actively engaged people, millions of actively engaged space fans who are willing to put their money where their mouth is and donate to an amazing cause, in a way that is really inspiring. Inspiration for.
That's another thing. You've got. You, not only do you found purpose, but you also found a community.
I did. These are my peeps. I can talk
so
to them about
proud of
space
this
nerdy
community.
things, and I'm so proud of this community. Yeah. It was funny how like a lot of them could not be less interested in technology. Like a lot of the cinema geeks that I've been able, I won't name names, but like there's some high profile cinema geeks that I've gotten to hang out with and become quasi friends with. And I was telling him about my dual SIM on my iPhone because the internet was terrible. And he was like, wait. And he had a 12 Pro Max. And he's like, so you're telling me I could walk into AT&T and get AT&T 2 on my phone? And I'm like, yeah, you can get AT&T and Verizon on your phone, of course. And they'll both be active and, they'll work. And he's like, what? And he was like, yeah. I mean, and he's like, when did this? I'm like, 2018? 10S Max, I think. 10S was the first one that did this. And it's just funny to like the guy with the 12K camera, 6K cameras, all the gear in the world is not as interested about tech as I am. And it's just kind of cool to live in the crossroads of like super passionate about space, super passionate about photography, cinematography, video, and super passionate about space. And it's just like a really fun Venn diagram that I'm in the middle of. It's like I get to be a part of some really cool communities.
Yeah.
I am everything.
I am it. That's cool, man. Yeah. I'm kind of a little bit living vicariously through you, just because it's fun to watch.
You need to come down here. Stop living vicariously. I literally have an empty room. You'll have to bring your own mattress or blow up bed or something. Bring that real comfortable queen size air mattress and you can throw it in the spare room.
We actually just got rid of it. We downsized.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Randy used to have the world's most comfortable queen size air mattress.
We're gonna get something better.
The thing was like, I couldn't get better than that.
Yes, it
I'm
can.
sorry.
I did not know. I did not know you liked it so much. I have to let her know. I did not know that you found that.
It was very comfortable. It had like a built-in pillow and everything.
Yeah.
It was
we're looking at getting something better. We downsized.
Wow.
We went from a 3-bedroom to a 2, so we had to give and take some stuff. It was either keep that or keep the mattress that I had for the actual bed, and we ended up voting for the actual mattress. But we are looking at something. Idea. Yeah, but I didn't know. I've never got any reviews on the mattress before. You're only for guy. That's like pretty comfortable.
I reviewed it on Yelp. I'm shocked you didn't see it. There's a Yelp review out there. Maybe a Google review.
I think it got held for review.
Randy's spare room mattress. 2 thumbs up. Air mattress.
It's the air bed and breakfast. That's how Airbnb started, with an air mattress.
Really?
Yeah, that's the name Airbnb. Was air bed as an air bed, as in a blow up bed. And breakfast in the morning. And then it kind of evolved from there. But Airbnb is airbed, blow bed. Yeah, true story.
Well,
true story.
There we go.
The more you know. Another little crinkle in the old brain there, in the old noggin.
You gotta release some of that knowledge out.
So the other thing I really miss, and I think why I'm so gloomy.
You're not gloomy. You're Randy.
Yeah, I'm not gloomy.
Or vegan.
Oh my god! I'll tell that stuff. Don't make. I'm not gonna tell.
Later. Y'all, I'll see you later.
I'll tell that story after we do the cube, whenever. But we're out of time. We ran out of time today, so we can't do it right now.
Man, no cube.
We'll have to do it next time. But
bummer. Next time.
What I do miss. I hear noises outside. I'm sorry. I was like, "What's going on out there?" I miss In-N-Out.
Are you okay, Randy?
No.
You're going to tell me something real deep and personal.
No, I miss In-N-Out. That is deep and personal. I miss In-N-Out. I miss In-N-Out and I miss Mexican
Texas
food.
Isn't that far away.
I know, but I also miss Mexican food.
We have In-N-Out.
Not Tex-Mex. I miss...
It's not Tex-Mex. This is Mex-Mex.
Mex-Mex.
Brownsville is Mex-Mex.
This ain't Tex-Mex, man. This is Mex-Mex.
It is Mex-Mex. Very good. Previously, the best tacos I've ever had were at Tacos El Gordo.
Don't you dare say something to replace it. I will hold you to that. Close? I'll take close.
They're even. They're even.
I'll take that. I'll
say tie. I'll take you to the place next time you come out here.
Okay.
It's literally a trailer in a parking lot with like a deck that they built around it.
Ooh.
And they have like little twinkly Christmas light things going over all the picnic tables that they have outside. And so you go at night.
Yeah, this sounds pretty Mex-Mex.
And you get your Mexican Coke, which is the glass bottle.
Yep.
And you have the limes
Describe
and the
it slower
tacos.
to me.
And you bite into it, and the juices run down your elbow. And it's just all of the...
You know, I haven't had breakfast yet, and it's already 5:30.
Oh, no. No wonder why you're not feeling well, dude.
Oh yeah, I haven't even said that yet on the show. Oh yeah, I'm deathly ill today. I feel like this is my eulogy.
What? That badly? Okay, well get off the show and go get better.
No, not that bad, but it's a fight that I feel. I don't feel like I'm winning any battles. I just feel like I'm winning. I don't even know what.
As long as you're winning the war.
I don't even know what the war is. That's the problem. It's just coming for me. Yeah. Well, I'll keep that in mind then about if it's comparable to Tacos El Gordo, because I know you like it. You know I like it. And if you said it's equal, then I will be more than happy.
You might not think. I think it's equal, but I haven't had Tacos El Gordo in over a year, so. The best taco is the one in your hand, in my opinion.
No, that's camera.
No. The best taco is the one in your hand.
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
Whether it be a Taco Bell taco or a Tacos El Gordo taco, the best taco is the one in your hand.
Okay. Nick, I have a suggestion. I want to say it on the end of this show, on the end of this episode.
Good thing no one listens to these.
Yes.
Especially to the end.
No one's around, so that way I can only be held a little bit accountable for it.
Okay.
I want us to entertain the idea of making the next show The Cube Talk. I mean, at this rate, next episode will be in January, so I mean, we're not that far. A lot can happen in that time.
I might be able to make this happen. So the reason for all you viewers, 3 of you, Jay and Nathan and Nate and maybe Connor, the reason why this has been so delayed is because I wanna present this visually, and I haven't been able to take the time to learn 3D modeling software in a way that I can show this visually. Randy and I have had so many long form conversations, like probably 10 or 20 hours worth over the past years, talking about this idea. And so we both have these really good mental pictures of what it is. And I do have some drawings and even a few 3D models, but they're not at the fidelity that I want to share with you guys. So I do now know a bunch of 3D modelers from Starbase. Oh. So maybe I can talk with
I'm
one of
going to
them.
bring it up because something got brought up like a week or two ago where someone was like, hey, whatever happened to this? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I think that was Nathan. Yeah, Nathan said that.
Oh, was it Nathan? All right. So
yeah. It's still there. I was thinking about it this week, like as I was looking at properties.
That's not it. That thing. That's not it. But it's all bread trails, crumb trails leading to the thing. So
the cube, not cube one.
Not cube one.
The cube.
The cube. You teased your M1 Mac cube
on the show.
G4 on the show here first before you actually did.
Before I even told you what it was.
Yeah.
I teased it hard.
I want to know about it. And that was unplanned. Nothing's premeditated, so that's why I was really excited about it. And but this one, unlike that. Go ahead.
I think now I'm in a position. I'm glad you brought it up as like a serious. We should do this.
I do
because
I'm
I've had plenty of conversations with a number of 3D artists who I'm sure I could sit down and share my idea and they could whip something up visually.
Then yeah, I'm as serious as we can make it happen, because I agree if we can give it to the right presentation and show it in the right way, I would like to see that. And it's unlike you teasing it in the moment of your M1 Mac Cube and then getting off and showing me, this is something that the complete juxtaposition of it is, this takes time and meditation, and even though we like teasing it, I do want to show it, but I want to show it right. So it's just something, I just wanted to plant that seed in your brain of saying, hey, let's
think about this.
Let's show, because as we know, we could talk about it for hours. So how can we condense it into an hour-ish presentation? So exciting.
I'm going to totally Steve Jobs the heck out of this. We'll use center stage, and I'll walk up and down my white wall here.
Are you getting it?
This is not a three-sided plane. This is a cube.
All right, I'm getting too excited. Gotta stop it. Yeah, I'm done. All right.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.